The center position is officially a priority for the Los Angeles Lakers, and it's about time. This team desperately needs two pieces to shore up the front court: a reliable starting center who can anchor the paint night in and night out, and a versatile backup big who can bring impact minutes off the bench. And the Lakers know it. They're not just aware of the issue, they're actively hunting solutions. Trades, free agency, short-term contracts, veteran deals. It's all on the table right now. If the goal is to land a true difference maker at the 5, chances are it's going to come through the trade market. But that doesn't mean there aren't some intriguing names floating around in free agency that could make a serious impact. One of those names? Brook Lopez. Yeah, that Brook Lopez, a name Lakers fans know very well. This is a guy who never wanted to leave LA in the first place. The Lakers let him walk, and it's a move that still raises eyebrows to this day. Picture Brook Lopez next to Anthony Davis over the years. There's no denying they would have made a lethal interior duo. But what's done is done, and now the door might be opening for a reunion. According to multiple reports, Lopez is expected to leave the Milwaukee Bucks this offseason. He's likely heading elsewhere. And what better destination than a team in a city he already knows and loves? The Lakers have had their eye on Lopez for a while. There were even talks of trading for him last season, but nothing materialized. And maybe that was a blessing in disguise. Now they might be able to get him without giving up assets. But here's where it gets interesting. Lopez is 37 years old. That's not just a number, it's a statement. We're talking about a veteran big whose legs have seen a lot of miles. The concern isn't whether he can still shoot or protect the rim. The real question is how much he's got left in the tank, and whether you can trust him to hold it down for an entire season in a starting role. Spoiler, probably not. Don't get it twisted. Brook still has value. He's not washed. He can still hit from deep, stretch the floor, and defend the paint. But starting every night for 82 games plus a playoff run? That's asking a lot, especially when you consider that in Milwaukee's playoff push, there were stretches where he came off the bench, saw his minutes cut, and at times looked like a shell of himself. Some of that was on the Bucks. The team was a mess. Rotations were scrambled, but some of that was just father time catching up. Now, if the Lakers are thinking of bringing Lopez in as a backup, that's a whole different conversation. In that role, he might be the perfect fit. He's got the skill set to space the floor, run some pick and pop, and bang down low when needed. He'd also pair nicely with LeBron James. We've talked a lot about building a team around LeBron versus building around someone like Luka Doncic. Luka thrives with lob threats, guys who can roll to the rim and catch off penetration. LeBron, on the other hand, likes to isolate, break down the defense, and then either finish at the rim or kick it out to shooters. That's where Lopez fits perfectly. His shooting pulls defenders out of the paint, giving LeBron that clear lane to operate. In a second unit role, especially alongside LeBron, Lopez could be gold. Think back to the 2020 Lakers roster. They had big man versatility: Anthony Davis, Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee. You had AD doing it all, Dwight, as the physical enforcer, and JaVale bringing energy and athleticism. The team had different tools for different jobs. That kind of balance is what wins championships. If the Lakers can mimic even a part of that formula, let's say with a Lopez, a Clint Capella type, and someone like Jackson Hayes returning for an athletic punch, that front court rotation could be deadly. Speaking of Hayes, there have been reports he might want to stay in LA, despite speculation he could look elsewhere. If that's true, and the Lakers manage to keep him while adding a skilled veteran like Lopez and a starting caliber big like Capella, suddenly this team has real depth. Again, not saying Lopez needs to start. That would be a mistake. Even as a short-term solution in a so-called gap year, it's too risky. But as your veteran backup, as your stretch 5 who gives you 20 quality minutes off the bench and mentors the younger guys, that's a different story. Now let's talk about this potential gap year strategy. The Lakers could be eyeing a reset next offseason. Depending on what happens with LeBron's contract and some of the shorter deals on the books, LA could see over $100 million in cap space open up. That's serious money. You could theoretically bring in Lopez, Capella, and Hayes, all on short-term deals, roll the dice this season, then reevaluate next summer when the books are clean. LeBron might re-sign on a 1+1 deal, keeping flexibility open. Meanwhile, guys like Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent, and maybe even players like Dorian Finney-Smith or Maxi Kleber could all be part of that cap clearing strategy. The point is, there's a window here, a chance to bridge the present and the future. Bring in smart veterans who can help now without clogging the cap sheet later. And in that kind of approach, Brook Lopez makes a ton of sense, if the price is right. And that's the key. How much does Lopez want? Because if he's looking for a full mid-level exception or asking the Lakers to maneuver a sign and trade to acquire him, that's a deal breaker. You're not gutting your flexibility for a 37-year-old big whose best years are behind him. But if Lopez is willing to come in on a veteran minimum, maybe even a 2-year deal to close out his career in a city he loves, then yes, sign him. Make it happen. Even if by the second year he's your third center, his value still holds. He can stretch the floor, bring playoff experience, and provide that calm veteran presence. He's won a championship. He knows what it takes. That kind of guy in your locker room, even if he's not playing every night, is a net positive. That said, let's not sugarcoat the concerns. There were signs of decline last year. Toward the end of the season, Lopez wasn't moving the same way. Some of that could have been lingering injuries, little nagging things that come with age, but some of it was real. And you have to consider that before giving him a defined role. Still, one thing you can't deny, Brook Lopez is durable. The man played 80 games last season. That's no fluke. Over the last 3 years, he's averaged around 80 games a year. In a league where guys are sitting out left and right, that kind of availability matters. He gave Milwaukee nearly 32 minutes a game last year, and his efficiency was actually up in multiple areas. He shot over 50% from the field, nearly 38% from three, and over 63% on two-pointers. His effective field goal percentage was up. His free throw percentage was steady at over 82%, and he was giving you 13 points, 5 rebounds, 2 blocks, and a steal per night. That's solid. That's production you can trust, especially off the bench. But again, rebounding is a concern. Lopez has never been a dominant rebounder. Even during his prime in Brooklyn, he wasn't grabbing double-digit boards. Last season, 5 rebounds per game. For a 7-footer, that's underwhelming. Yes, LeBron and Luka, or whoever is sharing, the floor might pick up the slack, but in a playoff series where every possession matters, you want more from your center. Lopez has had only 1 season since leaving Brooklyn where he averaged more than 6.5 rebounds. That's not ideal. You can live with it if he's blocking shots and hitting threes, but it does limit what you can do with him defensively, especially if your backcourt is built around guards who struggle on defense. If you're pairing Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic, for example, you need rim protection and mobility is not Brook Lopez's strength. He's not switching out on guards. He's not recovering on pick and rolls. He's a drop coverage guy, and if your defense isn't built for that, it can get exposed. So where does that leave us? Simple. Brook Lopez could absolutely help the Lakers, just not as their starting center. In the right role, at the right price, he brings experience, shooting, and size. He plays smart, he stays healthy, and he's proven he can contribute on winning teams. But if the front office is thinking about bringing him in to be the guy in the middle, that's a misread. And that's not the Brook Lopez of 5 years ago. And in today's NBA, where bigs need to move, recover, switch, and adapt on the fly, he's just not that player anymore. But again, as your second or third big, bring him in tomorrow, especially if you're balancing that out with more mobile defenders and younger legs around him. The Lakers are trying to build a roster with depth, versatility, and financial flexibility. If Brook Lopez is part of that puzzle on a short, cheap deal, then it makes sense. Otherwise, you tip your cap and let him walk somewhere else. And one last thing, don't underestimate the value of having guys like Lopez in your locker room. Players listen to champions. They respect veterans who have seen it all. If he's willing to come off the bench, accept his role, and help lead the second unit while mentoring guys like Jackson Hayes or whoever else comes in, that's a win. But the Lakers have to be smart. The window is still open, but it's narrowing. Every move matters. Let's see what they do. Before we continue, we ask that you leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Lakers updates. Moving on. The NBA offseason rumor mill is already churning, and one name has begun to surface with increasing frequency in connection to the Los Angeles Lakers: Michael Porter Jr. While nothing is confirmed, a growing buzz suggests that the talented forward could be the Purple and Gold's newest acquisition, a move that would send shockwaves across the league. Sources close to the situation, speaking on condition of anonymity, indicate that there's a strong burburinho around the Lakers' interest in Porter Jr. The notion of his offensive prowess joining forces with LeBron James and Anthony Davis is undoubtedly a tantalizing prospect for the Lakers faithful. His ability to space the floor, hit contested shots, and create his own offense would address key areas for a team looking to solidify its championship contention. The specifics of how such a deal would materialize remain shrouded in mystery, fueling the rumor aspect of this developing story. Could it involve a complex multi-team trade, a significant package of draft picks and young talent, or perhaps a more straightforward negotiation if Porter Jr. were to become available through other means? The possibilities are being widely discussed among league executives and analysts. This potential move comes at a crucial time for the Lakers, who are always under immense pressure to compete at the highest level. Adding a player of Porter Jr.'s caliber, even with past injury concerns, could be the missing piece they need to overcome their Western Conference rivals. The possibility of seeing him in a Lakers jersey next season is certainly enough to ignite excitement and speculation across the NBA landscape. As the offseason progresses, all eyes will be on Los Angeles to see if this compelling whisper transforms into a resounding reality. Stay informed exclusively about Los Angeles Lakers news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep receiving daily updates. Also, share your opinion on the news in the comments, as your contribution is crucial for the Lakers. Stay tuned for the next video.